enthusiasts, how are you doing? Welcome back. I hope you're well and I hope you're having a great day. Today we're on Project Tardis and we're going to spray the inside of the boot, get that all ready so the subframe can go back inside, and we're going to start cleaning up the rear radius arms and things like that, inspecting them, ready for getting the subframe built up. Now you might see, and I'll show you around the workshop at the moment, Sprout is actually on all fours, so I'm a little bit ahead. I'm a lot ahead in terms of work, but I'm actually only a week ahead on the video. So the work you're going to see in this week's video was last week's work. So as you can probably see, or you'll see in a moment, I have done a huge amount of work in the last week. A huge amount. I had a couple of days off work and I pretty much worked full stop, non-stop last weekend. The reason I wanted to do that and the reason I've done that is I've got this big giveaway coming. It is the biggest giveaway I've ever done on this channel, and we'll be doing that giveaway next video. So this will go out Sunday. On Wednesday there'll be details of the giveaway and I think it's really cool. I hope you enjoy it. So subscribe, make sure you hit the bell notification and check in on Wednesday, because it's a big giveaway and there's a chance for one of the viewers, one of the subscribers to win what I'm going to fit on Project Sprout. You can win your own version of it. And I'm also gonna enhance the giveaway a bit for the people that have bought me a beer. So you've got in the description, you can buy me a virtual beer. It's called Buy Me a Coffee, but I'll call it Buy Me a Beer. So I'm going to do something extra for those people as well, just to thank you really for supporting the channel. So I needed to film that. That meant getting Sprout from underneath the covers. I didn't want to do that until I'd done all the dirty work on Tardis. So I've done 99% of the dirty work now. If I need to do anything dirty, thank God the weather's changed. It's actually quite nice outside now, so I can push it outside. And in fact, I've got to the point now where I can get in it, start it, drive it, all the brakes work, steering works, engine works, everything works, so I can drive it in and out. We're nearly finished on Tardis, to be honest, but I've just been massively on it for the last week, spending as much time as I can in the garage to get to this point, as I say, so I can do the giveaway. And secondly, first mini show I'm doing in Project Sprout is, what is it, 2-3 weeks from now, is National Mini Cooper Day at Bewley. I've actually entered the show and shine. I don't think I've got a chance. Sprout's a very clean car, but it's not really a show car as such. But I just thought I'd enter the show and shine, so at least it's somewhere central, and if people want to come and see the car, they can do. So, let's get into this week's video. I'll just show you the cars quickly because it's really nice. As I say, I've done all the dirty work now, so I've uncovered the cars again. So it really gives me a buzz to see the cars after they've been wrapped up for so long, because there gets to a point where, you know, we had lockdown last year, I didn't do an event in the Minis. They barely come out on the road, and it's just been work in the garage. And you know, you forget why you own the Minis. If you're not driving them, you're not showing them, you're not cleaning and polishing them, then, you know, it gets quite boring just restoring them all the time. So let me swivel the camera around. Quick glance of the other Minis, because you won't have seen them for ages. And like I say, big heads up, this Wednesday, biggest giveaway there has ever been on Classic Mini Workshop. And also a bit extra for those Buy Me a Beer people, just to say thank you. All the details will be in Wednesday's video. If you watch it, check it out, see how you can win. Okay, so I often forget there are lots and lots of new subscribers all the time, roughly a couple of hundred a month. So I just realised some cars like Sprout and PL, people might not have seen before. So I'll just do a very quick walk around. Obviously we've got Project Tardis here. That is the latest project. Quick sneaky peek on this before the upcoming videos. Obviously it's back on all four wheels now. It starts, it runs, it drives. Those wheels look absolutely awesome. They probably look better in the flesh. So that's Project Tardis, which is my 12,000 mile Mini Mayfair automatic. It's about 90% way through its restoration at the moment. We then move on to Project Sprout. So this is an almond green Rover Cooper, 1.3 multi-point injection, and that underwent a full restoration last year, including full respray, full mechanical restoration. That car has had the works done on it. I'm really proud of that car. And then we have what is arguably my favourite car. So this is Pt.55. This is a Rover Mini Cooper Sport 5. So this was not a converted car. This was bought from John Cooper garages and was built to Cooper Sport 5 spec by John Cooper garages. So it's not a conversion. So you can tell because on the floor plate it says car number, which means it was built as a John Cooper car from brand new. Sometimes, like you still can do now, you could, well, you can't take it to John Cooper's, but you could buy a Mini from Rover and then at some point during its life you could take it to John Cooper garages and they would convert it. The plaque then would say conversion number, but this was bought brand new from John Cooper garages. It's a Sport 5 specification, so it has a Jack Knight Developments 5-speed gearbox. It has other modifications that were done to it to make it up to 85 brake horsepower. And yeah, it's a bit dark in here at the moment, but it's just a lovely car, a lovely colour, really nice to drive. Yeah, I'm lucky enough to own some very nice Minis, but I know some people might look and think, you know, wow, how do you own those Minis? I'll be honest with you, it is just a lot of hard work. Yes, there's some money involved as well, but I don't spend a huge amount on my Minis. I bought Project Sprout for, I think, £1,500. I bought Pt.55 for £6,700, and I bought Tardis for £4,000. Now, all of these cars have had money spent on them. I mean, Pt.55 has had front subframe, rear subframe, pretty much a full mechanical restoration. Sprout has had a full respray, yeah, mechanical restoration. Tardis, you know, the amount of hours I've put into them, you just could not put into monetary terms. Hundreds of hours. But obviously we'll feature these other Minis more. Now we're getting into show season. Now they'll start getting used. I will feature them a little bit more. But I thought it'd just be cool to show all three. I'm quite proud of my little collection. Right, so the next bit to be done is the boot, or inside the boot. As you can see, actually, it doesn't look too bad. I think I explained before that the guy I bought this off, elderly gentleman, he was a taxi driver. He sort of inherited it or got it off a friend. It belonged to a doctor. There's a long story with it, but anyway, it used to be sort of the doctor's wife's car. It very rarely get used. Then it got laid up for 10 years. As you go around the car, actually, there's lots of bits on it where it looks like it stood in a garage for donkey's years. You know, the roof's all scratched up, down the sides are scratched up where things have been moved around the garage. And when the previous owner got it, he wanted to tidy up some things, which included doing the boot, doing the front beneath the headlights. And he said, like, all the inside of the boot was scratched up as well, so he had them paint that. But they literally just painted it without removing anything. I mean, the battery, when I took it out, had all overspray on it. They've kind of sprayed over all the dirt in the boot as well. The wiring loom, I think I've shown this before, has got overspray all on it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Can you criticise the person that done the paintwork? I mean, not without knowing what, you know, what he sort of charged. I mean, someone might have done it as a bit of a favour, mightn't they? But it is a shame because, you know, it doesn't take long to take a battery out on a Mini. It doesn't take long to unclip the wiring loom and move it out of the way and then make a good job of it. So we're just going to give this a freshen up in here. First thing I need to do is key it all up. And we won't be going for the same sort of finish as we get on the, you know, exterior bodywork on the car. But we'll try and make it as good as we can. Kind of probably the worst bit in here is the actual battery, the battery tray itself. As you can see, there is some surface rust here. Thankfully, it's all solid. It's quite a common area for corrosion because where you get batteries leak, they leak battery acid to the bottom of the tray. That can, well, massively accelerates corrosion. So it's kind of unavoidable. So we're going to clean that all off, wire wheel it all off. We're going to put some cure rust on it to neutralise that, and then we'll probably just do a before and an after, or do a couple of clips in between. Obviously it will be cure rusted, etch primed, and then body colour. I'm not sure, yeah, I mean, we're going to have to blow over the whole lot really. So yeah, let me just get on with it, and then that's kind of, once that's done, I can get the rear subframe in, I can get the back wheels on, get it built up, and we are very nearly there. Just a boot lid to go then. So let me get cracking with this and I will see you again in a moment. Right, so there we go. Hard work that. Good couple of hours prep there. The really rougher bits I've done in 240, wet and dry. Then I've done the whole lot in 400 and then finished it all off with some medium Scotch-Brite. It's we've masked everywhere up now. I just need to cut that out actually because you need to leave a bit of bare metal for the battery earth. Filled up all the other holes and it's ready for etch primer now. So anywhere that's bare, there's a few little bits, we'll go over some etch primer, then gloss coat. Believe it or not, I actually had to get the welder out, not because there was a corroded hole, but because someone had drilled a hole here and here, just a 3mm hole. I think they'd used it for clamping the battery down at some point. I can't remember whether I have the original battery clamp actually. I think someone bodged something up. So I just welded those back up so there's no extra holes that shouldn't be there. So yeah. I'll rejoin you in a minute and it'll be a bit like magic. And there we go, like magic. So that's all the inside done now. Pretty pleased with it. I mean, it's only inside the boot. If you've owned a Mini, you'll know Rover never sprayed the inside of the boot very well anyway. So it's looking nice and bright. I mean, all of this side, you don't see that because the fuel tank's in the way. But I'm pretty pleased with the finish. There's a few areas which are a bit dry. It is quite difficult painting the boot like this because, especially with rattle cans, because you just can't get the paint on quick enough. So you'll be spraying one side over here, and then by time you get to the other side, this side is totally dry. So you end up getting dust in the paint, which with a bit of T-Cut, you probably polish that and it will smooth it out a little bit. I don't know whether I'll go that far. But yeah, pretty pleased with that. It's looking very nice. Just thought I'd share this because I thought it was quite funny. So this is all the rear subframe mounting trunnions, rear and front. Firstly, I've no reason to think these bushes have been replaced in the past. So I know there's always lots of debate around which way round the bushes go. And every Mini I've ever seen, which I think is standard, they've gone that way round with the wider part of the bush in towards the subframe and the narrower part outside. But looking at these bushes, they look, at face value, they look okay. But when you take these out, it's quite funny just to see how much they are. They're not meant to be oval like that. It's almost like they're made for adjustable camber or something like that, but they are, yeah, they're just really oval. It's where it's sort of sat for 38 years and just compressed the rubber. So yeah, although they're not cracked or anything like that, because my mate Paul Robinson will be saying, oh, you know, you wasted a bit of money there, Keith. They are genuinely pretty squished. So we'll stick some new ones on. So it ended up being a really quick and easy job on those radius arms. Like I say, the actual pins themselves or the bushings in them are absolutely fine. There's no play at all. There's no corrosion on the pins or anything like that. You'll see I was a bit slapdash in painting it because I'm not that worried. I'll be fitting new nuts, bolts, spring washers, the new grease washers on the end and new rubber boots. I'll obviously be fitting through new knuckles. The mating surfaces I've left. And then yeah, I might give that another coat of paint in a minute. It's just a little bit thin. It's just hammerite black, nothing special. It's only a radius arm. And you'd have seen me using the wire wheel to clean that up. It's quite effective on something like this. Now obviously it would be nice to be able to shot blast it, but I don't have a shot blaster. But in all honesty, on something that's not very delicate like this, you can go really hard at it with the wire wheel, and it doesn't take much to clean it off. So yeah, as I say, I've got this in the vise now, so I checked in a previous video for play in the bushings. I've actually got new pins. I've got new new radius arm pin kits, so I might actually just fit a new pin as well. I'll check the tolerances. In fact, no, I won't do that because the pin in here will have been reamed for this pin. But I will fit new nuts washers, grease washers, new grease nipples, and new rubber seals. But that's the radius arm done. Now I've just got to get the other side done.
Okay, we've reached that point in the video where we have some spare time, so it must be time for another Reader's Drives. This is the story of a 1975 Canadian Mini belonging to a long-term viewer and subscriber, Midge Lambert. This car was imported by Gordon Import Autos Limited into Vancouver, British Columbia, and purchased by a lady that had it for 5 years. After that, it had 3 more owners until Midge bought it from the last owner, who was a fine arts university student living not far away on Vancouver Island. The last owner had sadly desecrated the poor little Mini by sticking different shaped pieces of fluorescent tape all over the exterior amongst other things. As you can see in the photos here, it's really not a great look. Midge started the restoration soon after buying it in September 1992, but sadly life got in the way and 25 years later Midge has continued with the restoration. It's still not finished, but it looks like he's getting close. Well done, Midge, and thanks for letting me feature your car. I hope you enjoyed this week's Reader's Drives, and if you'd like your car featured, please drop me an email. My email address is in the description. I hope you enjoyed this week's video.